In the last video, we discussed about the area of a triangle. That's basically we discussed about the use of a determinant, correct? Now, in this particular video, we'll talk about the next important, you can say, topic under determinants, calculating the minor and cofactor for a determinant. Or you can say, calculating the minor and cofactor for a matrix. Okay, whenever we talk about calculating minor or a cofactor, the matrix has to be a square matrix. Okay, you cannot consider any other type of matrix. It has to be a square matrix. Fair enough? Now, let's understand what is a minor and how to calculate the minor for a matrix. So now we'll look into minor. Now, when we talk about minor of a matrix, let's take an example. Okay, so let's say we have A. We'll consider a 3 cross 3 matrix. Say this is 1, minus 2, 4, 2, 5, minus 8, 0, 6, minus 1. Now it's a 3 cross 3, so we have 9 elements. Now for this one, a minor of a particular element of a matrix is such that we take the determinant except that particular row and that particular column. Let me repeat it. Now what we are doing here, so we are going to consider one particular element. Let's assume that we are trying to calculate the minor for, let's say, minus 8. Okay, so we are trying to calculate the minor of minus 8. For this one, what do? We do not consider that particular row and particular column. Okay, so we do not consider the particular row, so we do not consider the row and we do not consider the column. See, the remaining you are going to have a matrix and you are going to calculate the determinant of that particular matrix. Okay, you don't need to have to write the matrix, you can directly calculate the determinant. So in this case, now minus 8 is which row, which column? Second row, third column, correct? So we write it as in we represent the minor as M, I and J. Minor of the ith row and jth column. So in this case, we are looking at minor of 2, 3 in the sense minor of the second row, third column element. Now this is going to become determinant of 1 minus 2 0 6. 1 minus 2 0 6. Now you guys know how to calculate the determinant. So this is going to give you 6 minus 0, the value is 6. This is basically the minor of a particular element. Now minor can be calculated for all the 9 elements what you're seeing in the matrix, correct? As you calculate the minor for each and every element, that becomes the minor matrix. Fair enough? So this is how you calculate the minor. You take that particular row, particular column. You do not consider the row and the column of the element in that matrix. Then you are going to take the rest of the elements, take the determinant value of it. That is going to give you the minor of that particular element. Fair enough? Now, the next one is cofactor. Let's consider what is a cofactor and how do we calculate the cofactor. Calculate the cofactor. So here we are looking at cofactor. Cofactor of a particular element in a matrix. Again, let's take another example. Let's say you have A. Okay, let's say we are taking minus 1, 2, minus 4, 3, minus 2, 1, 0, minus 5, 7. Let's take this as an example. Now, in this example, cofactor of an element of a matrix. Here also a square matrix. We are taking a 3 cross 3. 9 elements are there. Let's calculate the cofactor for one particular element of a matrix. Alright. Now here, let's calculate the cofactor of the element 0. Third row, first column, that particular element. Now to calculate the cofactor, first you have to consider the minor of that particular element. That means here, if you are talking about minor, we do not consider this row and we do not consider this particular column. We just consider the rest of it, correct? So now what do we have? Minor of third row, first column. Determinant of 2, minus 4, minus 2, 1. Which gives us 2 minus of minus 2 into minus 4. 2 minus 8, which is equal to minus 6. Okay, now this is the minor of this particular element. Now cofactor is what we mean. So cofactor is generally represented by capital letter A 3 1. Third row, first column, correct? So let me write it in another way. So we'll write this as A third row, very important, and then first column, correct? Now this value becomes minus 1 to the power of, so the first one is the row, so we take this 3, the third row, plus the next one is the column, which is 1. Minus 1 to the power of 3 plus 1 into m31, minor of this particular element. What is minus 1 power 4? Minus 1 power 4 is 1. So this becomes just 1 into m31, which becomes the value of minus 6. So the cofactor of 31 is just minus 6. Now what did we do here? The most important point here is thus calculating the value of this one, correct? That means the cofactor of an element Aij is nothing but minus 1 to the power of I plus j into minor of that particular element Mij. This becomes the cofactor of an element, correct? Now the same thing, we have a cofactor matrix. For each and every element, you calculate the cofactor and then you write it down. That becomes a cofactor matrix. Fair enough? Now likewise, once you calculate what is a minor, then you calculate what is a cofactor. There are certain properties which can be converted into a problem and it can be given to you. Okay, in the next video, you guys are going to see few problems related to minors and cofactors and how to solve them. Most of the times, it's going to be a proving sum. Okay, most of the times. Or they can ask you find the cofactor matrix, minor matrix, something like this. It's going to be quite a direct question. But then minor and cofactor is very important for the next syllabus, next part of the chapter, which is finding the adjoint and inverse of a matrix. So first, we'll calculate and we'll solve few problems based on minor and cofactor, whatever we have discussed in the next video.